I am currently... Oh, cool. I didn't know this... Hey. I didn't know this button was a thing. Cool. Hello there, Cornwallis. Good to see you again. Hope you're well. Hey there, punkhead. Hello there, John Reimer. Don't call me that, though. I'm, taken. Great to have you, though. Hey, Jared. Oh, hey, Chili. Great to have you back. Yeah, Amoria. I usually don't go live during the day. Figured I should. Alright, good to know, Reimer. Hello there, Roblox. Or Vigilalav. I don't know how to pronounce that, but... Got my Asmodeus shirt on. I believe I bought it from the shirt shop that Sarah Petroselli used to run. Chili was Roku. Oh, yeah, that's not... Yeah, I remember that. How am I today? Pretty good. I woke up with a hangover. Used the world's best hangover cure, which is... What's it called? G Fuel. G Fuel. It's a pre-workout. A YouTube streamer I watch a lot just casually mentioned that it was like the best hangover cure of all time, so I got it, and he was right. Shit feels like drinking a max HP potion in a video game. May we all be blessed by the Couch Jesus. Alright, sure. That's my new nickname. I'm Couch Jesus. Couch us. Jeezouch. Jeezouch. I'm Jeezouch. The Underworld Muse says I'm in Sarah's group. That is awesome. Great to have you. Until now, I didn't know that this button I'm pushing was a thing. Looks much better. I was just casually hitting random buttons until people showed up. Accidentally found a way to, I guess, significantly improve my visual quality. Weird question. One last about the Whisper. You saw or spoke to one for a reading you did a while back. Can you tell me what color its skin was? It looked gray to me. Elijah says, I'm loving these daily lives because I usually miss them. Yeah, that's a really common problem. My goal is to try to do like one short YouTube live a day and one short TikTok live a day. I don't have any collabs scheduled, but when I went live on TikTok the other day, Robbie from Obscura Sanctum kind of spontaneously called in. Elijah says, you got high energy right now, VK. Damn, yes, I do. Caffeine is one of my main vices. Hello there, Lena. Thank you very much. I'm glad you like the daily lives. Ugh. So, I don't know if y'all have ever heard of a TV show called The Boys, but, it was originally recommended to me by one of my live stream viewers, like, during a live stream. At first I was skeptical of it, but then I realized that the actor who plays Homelander, you know, the evil version of Superman, same actor was the main character in a show called Banshee, which is like one of my all-time favorite TV shows. I just didn't recognize him blonde. But I've been watching that. There's a spinoff called Gen V that I've been watching. We're in the middle of season 2. It's really good. Do the light elves and dark elves have beef? Probably. I try to not get into deity drama. Caffeine helped you get off alcohol. LOL, like inmates in prison. Nice. How would I advise someone who wants to honor their ancestors but has no family records? Can you honor Lilith as an ancestral spirit of the first woman who died? Treating Lilith as an ancestral spirit doesn't make any sense. Um, you'll have to establish contact with the ghost that you're in contact with. One thing my ancestors told me to do, this might work for yours as well. There's a basically I was supposed to offer one stick of Nag Champa incense to them at night. That's what my ancestral spirit's like, as a mostly German, partially British person. If I like Banshee, I would like Taboo. Okay, good to know. Good to know. I've never heard of Taboo. Judging by the title, I'd probably like it. So, Roblox asks, are there specific types of people that psychic vampirism shouldn't be allowed to use on, even when it's only a little energy? You should not feed on other vampires against their will. Well, without permission, I mean. That's one thing the ascended vampires enforced that. The temple, the literature of the Temple of the Vampire also advised that. Can Lilith be worked with to get rid of intimacy issues? Absolutely. She's one of the demons I call on for a service I call the Satanic Ritual of Healing and Lust that helps with intimacy issues. So yeah. Lena always puts a lot of cinnamon sticks in her coffee for good luck. Good luck. Good idea. Any ideas of what to do after initiation? So, you're going to want to establish a sort of daily devotional practice. So I'm saying you should come up with some short prayers to the various spirits you want to work with. Pray for, say, abundance, protection, psychic awakening, whatever. Establish that, and try to do it every night. If you miss a night, it doesn't matter. It happens to everyone. Don't even kick yourself. But like a series of short prayers. You are not expected to perform rituals every single day. Most people can't do that. But if you have these little prayers you can do to constantly strengthen your relationship with the spirits and further your own spiritual development, that will help a lot. Yeah. By the way, if you go to the free website that I have and you hit the menu, there's a series of rituals for beginners, very simple ones. As for choosing the prayers you want to recite nightly, there's also a section on my website labeled Magical Hymns. You can choose some of those to be part of your nightly devotionals. You can write your own. I think the OFS Demonology website has some prayers as well. Don't be scared to mix and match. Obey the Homeless. Love the username. Obey the Homeless says, hi, and your experience is the level of ritual complexity related to the quality of outcome. Sort of. So some people get better results with really elaborate shit. Others get better results with simple shit. So you have to kind of it'll take some trial and error to figure out what really works for you. How hard has the shadow work been that I had to do? It was pretty emotionally abrasive, but it didn't last that long. The emotional pain didn't last that long. Have I ever summoned a spirit in a mirror? When I summoned the demon Gargophius, instead of appearing on a mirror, she actually... So, Gargophius was the first demon I evoked. I was still living with my parents. It was a long time ago. But, basically, I drove to an isolated area and then sat in the back seat of my car. and evoked her there with the intent of her manifesting in or outside the car. What she did was she manifested on like the windshield, and she would like move around. Like she was on the windshield, then she's on the front left mirror window, front left window, then she's in the rear view mirror, then she's in that window. She moves around a lot. She really likes appearing on reflective surfaces. I've even seen her manifest on the screen of a television that was turned off. But I have not deliberately summoned a spirit into a mirror. Nothing against it. It's just Gargophius, some reason, really likes to appear on reflective surfaces. What's my advice for a beginner working with a Ouija board? Consecrate it. So if you type in VK Johannam Ouija consecration into Google, I've got a ritual designed that will call on demons to enchant your Ouija board. This will make it much easier to use, and it will keep it safe. So a lot of people report negative experiences with Ouija boards, and that's because they aren't taking precautions. You want to have wards up, and you have to be very careful summoning ghosts. The ghosts who have not passed on yearn for the company of humans. So when you call to one, others will want to answer. Hence why you have to take precautions and why some people get such scary experiences. Hello there, Sicario. Navjiot completed the book of Astarte and Astaroth again. The first time you did it, thinking you have to do the rituals multiple times, one after the other. Gotcha. Very cool. Good for you. Lena said you can always dedicate your daily activities to different entities when you cook or when you work out, for example. I give my workout to Andros or Belial. That's a good tip. That's very smart. Sicario ordered Free Night, as I mentioned in my wealth rite. Does it have moves other than wealth rituals? Yeah. I froze for a sec. Everyone hearing me all right? So Sicario ordered Free Night. Does it have use for things other than wealth rituals? Yes. Free Night basically empowers anything you do. Hello there, Trinity Babylon. Is there an incubus I could easily send on to someone? If you mean for harmful purposes, Asmodeus rules the most destructive incubi in the Cliffoth. So just summon him and ask him to send one after whoever. Do I still do shadow work in my bathroom mirror like the Bloody Mary thing? Not lately. I use other techniques now. I have no complaints about that technique that I used to use, but I've just been using different stuff now. How do I set up wards? There's a lot of different ways. I have instructions for 2 or 3 different warding techniques on my Patreon. One uses the rune Algiz and does not call on any spirits. One calls on demons, and one calls on Santa Muerte. Most of the wards I use are secret. Because, you know, everyone wants to kill me. Did I have dreams on what could possibly happen to humanity? I saw the future of our species once. We look very different, and we seem pretty advanced and powerful. What's that sigil in the thumbnail? That is a sigil of the serpent aspect of Nibirius. Nibirius is a Goetic demon. He's also known as Cerberus in Greek mythology. That sigil was channeled by Augustus Gregori. I didn't know what to do for a thumbnail, so I just chose a random picture from my phone. I'm probably going to change it later. to be a more suitable thumbnail. But yes, Nibirius is very closely connected to death, so deadly would be accurate. Est Parum has a weird problem. You can only bless others, but not myself. You made your family kind of wealthy, but you're poor. Well, magic draws a lot from desire. So I've noticed that when I perform healing spells for people I have personal relationships, it seems consistently more potent than healing spells I do for clients. Like, my healing spells for clients work great, but it's always stronger when I have like a sincere emotional concern for the person. It's possible that your failure and blessings could stem from a lack of self-worth. So I would do meditations for self-worth and self-love and then try again. But yes, a lot of people report that, they get better results doing love magic for others than they do for themselves. Same with money magic, etc. What's my thoughts on spirit marriage? It's real, but a lot of people who claim to be in one are a bit on the delulu side. Lena says that many times people get bad experiences because of what they are expecting. That's true. That's true. What does it take to become a true Satanist? Summoning demons regularly, learning from them, following their guidance, advancing their agendas in this world. Is there any reason a Mordecai would visit Matthew and say, "Do not forget what I and we have done for you"? And I have those words repeat in my head over and over throughout the day. So in one of Dreadwood's books, he said that the moment the spirits leave your heart, you lose what you gain from them. So continue to honor them, be grateful to them, etc. Matt's wife keeps having intrusive thoughts all the time, so it gives him pause if it's actually a Mordekoth, because they looked different than before. Intrusive thoughts. I mean, it's possible that she was overexposed to the death current, I'm not sure why you think it's a Mordekoth, but there is a phenomenon where people oversaturate themselves with the energy of a given pantheon, spirit, current, whatever, and start having issues. I know one time I oversaturated with myself with the energy of Crescent, and I started having like pretty violent, intrusive thoughts. I didn't act any of them out, but I was like, yo, the books warned me about this. I gotta lay off the Crescent for a bit. Different currents and pantheons have different symptoms of oversaturation. Raymond likes the twin demon ward technique that I put on Patreon, and it's worked pretty well. I'm glad to hear it, man. I have never been into Warhammer 40k. Sicario recently started seriously working with Belial, and the first thing he showed me is point of view of like 20 people dying in the Middle East. Wow, that is one hell of an introduction. Who the hell starts a conversation like that? I just sat down. That's wild. Trill Gates. There's a lot of stuff going on with spiders right now. You normally take them as a good sign ever since you started getting into this stuff. Awesome. Are there any rituals for feelings of abandonment? Emotional healing? Shadow work? Amoria says, what is a primordial or primordial soul? And have I contacted beings from a different source? Well, primordials are beings who existed before physical universes did. Basically. As for a primordial soul, that would have to mean that you also existed before creation. Lay off the croissant. God damn it, Elijah. Esparum is going on a period of avoiding substances, even caffeine and sugars. I've heard that's probably going to be really good for you. Congratulations, man. Do I follow Esoterica's YouTube channel? I've only seen one video of his. I plan to watch more. But I can't really speak on the guy yet. I'm very, very, very new to his content. To the Firebred Virgin, I did not use an amulet. I have a pentagram made of silver that I enchanted for Mesopotamian magic, but that's it. MV said, why do I have dystopian dreams? Yeah, me and a few Satanists have had dystopian dreams as well. We're thinking that there's a bit of a rough time period around the corner. Which of my services would I recommend to kind of diagnose what is going on with you right now? Oh, Infernal Soul Reparation. It's a holistic healing of the soul that will benefit every part of you. And, like, from what I'm being told, what I've always been told, it just makes people feel better. You know, there's a type of healing that forces you to, like, confront and work through pain, and it makes you upset for, like, a day or two. But the Infernal Soul Reparation does not seem to come with emotional turmoil. People just report feeling better. Hey, Fluoxetine Queen. I'm pretty sure I pronounce your name differently every time I read it out loud. Have I ever tried to film a pendulum session? No. I find that using the pendulum in close proximity to electronics kind of fucks with my results. Matthew hasn't been to the graveyard to pay homage in about 9 months. So be it. How to get back into King Beelzebub's good side. Apologize for whatever offended him and burn some incense as an offering. Navjiat says, how can I increase my alchemical tolerance? Time. I don't know what a Bagua mirror is, so I can't help you there. Did you really need to do the initiation ritual to practice Meijerian magic? No. The closest thing Meijerian sorcery has to an initiation ritual is the lifelong blood pact. Unless you want Meijerian spirits to be like one of the centerpieces of your personal practice, I would not recommend doing the blood pact. And if you're not going to do the blood pact, there is no initiation rite. You just jump right in. Esteparum was always an outcast from school and university. Always been haunted by spirits before he even knew about the Goetia. I would consider that a good thing. I hope you agree. How do you remove the evil eye? Just cleanse your energy. That's it. Jose says, can playing background music while performing rituals, whether it be spellwork or evocation, interfere with the results? Not in my experience. Once in a while, I'm in the mood to just blare some catchy music while I do a ritual. I haven't had any negative impact from that. Matthew says, will the infernal soul reparation conflict with the Meazurian path? No, not at all. So the Meazurian spirits they have an alliance with the Clifothic and Goetic spirits. Hello there, Avalos. How to cleanse your energy then? Cleansing bath. You can try a simple grounding technique. Esteparm got memed by Joy of Satan 23 years ago and fuck the Joy of Satan ministry, dude. Man, fuck those fucking people. Hail Satan, fuck Hitler. Sorath was Hitler's patron demon. No. Is the O9A just a bunch of edgy LARPers? They do. Every once in a while, you hear about them in the news, usually for terroristic plots, indiscriminate homicide, or sex crimes involving children. But yeah, they're mostly losers. I put the grounding technique that Archangel Raziel taught me on my Patreon. I don't remember whether it was a standalone post or if it was in Black Lodge Meditations, which is a little PDF I have with different meditative techniques. One of the two. But there's a lot. There's one technique I learned. The first one that worked for me was I literally took a shower and imagined the water like sweeping the negative and excess energy like off of me down the drain, and yeah, that helped a lot. There was one technique I saw where you sit like this and you visualize a root, a giant root emerging, stemming from the base of your spine and traveling all the way down into the core of the earth. And then you visualize all the negative and excess energy in your body traveling down that root into the core of the earth. Then you visualize the earth's energy traveling up the root and filling every part of your body from your head to toe. The shower technique and that root technique were both in a book that I believe was called Beginner's Guide to Wicca, which was the first book I read about the occult. But the technique I use nowadays is on Patreon. Are the Anunnaki considered celestials? I'm not sure. Oh. Rest in peace, Maxine. Matthew says, may I ask why I experience pain when reaching out to Lucifer? Well, Lucifer can appear as all light or all dark, or in between. The first time I got possessed by him, it hurt me because he manifested in his light aspect, and I was way more accustomed to dark energy. He basically did that to help me get used to light energy. I'm glad he did. It hurt, but I'm glad he did it. He might be doing something similar to you. I have not worked with Lou. Were the Igigis watchers? To my understanding, those are separate from the Grigori, the watchers in the Old Testament. Hello, Willowcore. Matt says Lucifer has only appeared as all light, but made shadows as well. It hurt like hell. Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to call it here. Y'all have a great night. Enjoy your immortality. All of my occult services are 25% off until the end of September. Hail Satan.